Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the WWE Mattel Kmart Fan Central exclusive from Wrestlemania 30. We've got the People's Champion, The Rock. I'm also going to take this as an opportunity to review Wrestlemania 32 and give you guys my thoughts on that. Pretty disappointing, if I'm honest. I really did not like this year's Wrestlemania at all. I don't think it was very good, especially considering previous years' WrestleManias. WrestleMania 30, of course, where this figure is from. Great WrestleMania. Loved it. At the start, you had The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold. You know, you had great matches, Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker, with the streak ending, even though, you know, that wasn't very good. Still, very shocking moment. You had two great Daniel Bryan matches, Triple H in there, Batista, Randy Orton, a lot of good quality wrestling. WrestleMania 31, I think, was better. It had, obviously great ladder match with the Intercontinental Championship, had a great world title match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar with Seth Rollins getting the cash in. Very happy that happened. You had Undertaker, Bray Wyatt. You had Sting, Triple H, which was a great match too. This year was just really flat. I mean, looking at it from the perspective of after Raw, you had Zack Ryder win the IC title, which I really like. I am not a big Zack Ryder fan, if I'm honest. But I really was happy that he won that match. I like him with the beard and the facial hair. I think he could have been a really good Intercontinental Champion and a legit one. I mean, I've heard Wade Keller and stuff like that say that, his time's passed and all that. Well, I don't agree with that. I think anyone, if you give him the right push, can be a really good champion. And there's no... that's a good thing with wrestling, is that because it's not like a proper MMA, UFC style career, you can have a long run, and there's not necessarily as defined an age gap, because certain wrestlers can turn heel, they can use different styles and things, and Ric Flair's a great example of that. So anyway, with Zack Ryder, I really wanted him to have a good run with the IC title. Instead, the next night they give it to, of all people, The Miz. The Miz is a great heel. To me, he's not an Intercontinental Champion anyway. Other matches on the card, the Bray Wyatt Rock thing, I loved. That's probably my favourite thing on the show, to be completely honest with you. I thought that was done really well. The Rock, I guess, taking the piss out of Bray Wyatt and making jokes that he's fat. The Rock can get away with that, but Bray needed to counter that and sort of put the Rock in his place. I feel that was needed. The Dean Ambrose Brock Lesnar match, I didn't think was all that great. It wasn't as intense as I would have liked, especially considering Brock's had just some brutal matches. Looking at the one with Roman Reigns at last year's WrestleMania, his matches with John Cena, his matches with Seth Rollins in the Triple Threat, even his matches with The Undertaker have all been really intense matches, and this one I don't think lived up to that, if I'm completely honest. And then the main event, that was disgusting. Really didn't like that. Hell in a Cell with Triple H and Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker and Shane McMahon. I think it was okay. I liked the dive from Shane. The match itself, though, I found myself, really hard to get into the match, which is a shame because I really liked The Undertaker. And it reminds me a little bit, I guess, of the WrestleMania 30 match, where it just wasn't a good match. Anyway, that was my thoughts on WrestleMania 32. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. In the meantime, we'll get The Rock opened up and out of packaging. Nice shot of The Rock on the top left there. At the bottom, you can see, obviously, the WrestleMania 30 Champions logo. I love that he comes with the championship. Now it's out of date. At the time, obviously fairly current. Very cool looking figure. And taking a look at the back of the packaging, great shot of The Rock, an absolute beast. I was so happy when he came back and won the WWE Championship. I started watching wrestling just after The Rock had left, which always made me sad because I always wanted to see him. So when he came back, that made me extremely happy. I think he had two brilliant matches with John Cena. WrestleMania 29, I know a lot of people say, they sort of had a cop-out with John Cena versus The Rock yet again after they billed it as once in a lifetime. I really enjoyed both matches. I love The Rock in it. He had a great feud with CM Punk as well, which made me very happy. So very cool figure. There is no read up or anything like that on the back, and the other figures in the set are Daniel Bryan and The Rock. So let's get him opened up. Okay, and here we've got the People's Champ opened up and out of packaging. A really cool looking figure. Very happy I was able to pick this guy up. As you can see, obviously it is pretty accurate to how The Rock looked. I love the detail on his tribal tattoo. I think that looks really nice. Mattel did a great job with that. And the face sculpt as well. I think it's a solid Rock face scan. I know a lot of the earlier Rock figures that Mattel released were pretty poor, and I'll bring some of those in a moment so you guys can see. But definitely a nice figure. He does come with a basic WWE Championship as well, which looks pretty nice. I like that it's sort of warped here because it allows it to just sit nicely on the Rock. For comparison purposes, I'll bring in an Elite WWE Championship. There you go. You can see, I guess, the difference. Both are cool belts. I think Mattel really does a great job with those. I was a big fan of when they unveiled this belt. I thought it looked quite nice. They changed it pretty rapidly, though, to the new logo and then again to, I guess, its modern iteration. But yeah, I'm not sure, why they've changed it so rapidly. But definitely, I think having The Rock come back and win the title was a good excuse to get rid of the old school spinner championship belt. And checking out the back of the figure, you can see hopefully that his head is kind of warped to one side. I'm not sure why that's the case, but definitely loving the gold on the trunks as well. And here we've got The Rock compared to some of the other Mattel figures that they have released. Definitely one of the better ones. I think Mattel did a great job with this. I love the championship belt he comes with. I love the detail. The next step for me is getting an Elite version of this guy. I know they did release him with the championship in Elite form. That is a really hard to find figure though, so I've got to do a little bit of sleuthing and a little bit of hunting to try and get that. But if you're a fan of The Rock, I think absolutely this is a must-have. Definitely a really cool figure. Very happy he was able to make an appearance at WrestleMania 32 and have a match. That was definitely an exciting moment and the highlight for me. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this review on the Kmart exclusive WWE Mattel from the Champions line and WrestleMania 30, The Rock.